All right. I know we don't usually go live this early before a race is decided, but I feel like this is one of those moments that we have to. I hope I sound all right on your guys' end. Tried to fix a few things, but we're going to be here live watching what happens when they call this race. I don't know what Adam Alexander's talking about. The lights are what the caution is caused by. I think it's Austin Hill, but I don't know because of the yellow line rule where they call it. It has to be the 21. I'm agreeing right now with Jingle Octopus. We'll get to the super chats that I missed yesterday in a moment. Be sure to like the stream while we're waiting. But they're showing the replay. I'm a few seconds behind. I mean, you got to watch the yellow lights. This has been what's caused playoff races to stop before. Look at Talladega 2015. The start of the caution, the start of the crash doesn't cause the caution like Adam Alexander is talking about. It's when the yellow light comes on. That's what we've been told for about 20 years now. So I have to think this is Austin Hill, especially if they deem the yellow line rule on the 20, which I don't think, honestly, that should when it's avoiding an accident. But once again, as Irvin Alvarado is saying, we got a controversy. It is a start. I'm listening to the broadcast right here as we're live. But we're going to watch this and see how it works. I'm thinking it's a 21 from what I can tell. I would say that the 21 is the winner in this instance. And I'm not even saying that because I picked him. I'm just saying that because that's based on NASCAR rulebook, like on the NASCAR rulebook, how it's set. So we'll wait here. We'll see how it works. At the moment, we're in a holding pattern, basically. I'll read off the two super chats from yesterday. Austin left one for 5 that said, I don't see the need for a truck series with Xfinity and late models. When's the last time you saw a Cup champion be good in trucks? I think it's more of an OEM thing, honestly. But I wanted to catch up on that one. We'll get to the other one in a moment. I'm watching what you guys are saying in the chat as well. They call the 21. There it is. That's it. Austin Hill, back-to-back, is your winner. For the 2023 Beef It's What's for Dinner 300, I will take a little bit to get that top ticker going, just because, well, we didn't know. But they've called the race. 21 is the winner, as I think he should be per NASCAR's rules. Right now, we got over 100 while we started a little early, but be sure you like the stream. It'll help a ton. Subscribe if you're new. But I'm gonna say, yeah, it's that's who should have won the race based on the replay, based on the caution, based on everything. I hope they show the finish of how close the call was, but it's gonna be a while before we get official results in this thing. I'm looking right now at NASCAR's website, and they have the 20 still as the winner and Austin Hill in third. So we're gonna take a while to get the official results up. I would read them. But that's it. So there's that. Yeah, that was a hell of a race. So I'll just say this about Sam's move at the end. He was aggressive. You do what you have to do. I get it, but he miscalculated. He misjudged, and pulled himself in front. Basically flipped himself. I'm not saying that to be mean or one way about what the one did, but that is what happened in that incident. I see what you're saying, Napa Racing Fan 927. Malcolm ran well in the middle today. I saw that. Frankie Muniz with an 11th place run. Brian, the 7 wasn't ahead though with a moment of caution. When they showed the frame by frame stop, the 21 was ahead. Unless there's a different angle they can show, but the 21 won this race. So they're interviewing him on the front stretch now. We're going to find out what the official running order is. I don't know. NASCAR's website is not updated, and now they have, it is not updated whatsoever, unfortunately. I'll read a super chat we got from yesterday while we're waiting, though. For 20 from Matthew Pruitt, this is when I went off air. I don't know if this is a joke or not, but it says, should Zane be drug tested? He appears to be on the Kush coma during his interviews. I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think it's a joke because he says his performance is clearly unfair for the rest of the field. So they show here, there's the crash. And the yellow lights come on after this moment. So it should, I think the 20 shouldn't be penalized for going underneath the yellow line just because it is avoiding an accident. They were 3 wide with another car flipping on the high side. I don't understand how NASCAR can fairly penalize him for that. NASCAR's website, though, is still saying Justin Allgaier is the winner of this race. So I know there's a lot of Justin Allgaier fans that are going to be upset about this. He's getting interviewed right now, but per NASCAR rules, this is how it should have been ruled. Again, be sure to like the stream while we're all here, closing it on 200. A lot of people are going to be coming into this thing once we get going. I see, is it Chase Ravert or whatever? I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, but says that the caution should have been thrown as soon as Mayer flipped. I mean, it was. It honestly was. That's how, like, bang, bang, quick all that stuff is. I know people are going to be upset about this because Allgaier is a fan favorite, but just because he's a fan favorite doesn't mean he should have the rules bent to his, benefit. The rules are the rules. That's how it is. Like, the caution was, like, maybe a second after that happened. So I don't see how this is an issue. I think people are overreacting because their favorite driver lost, but that's on y'all. And if you want to blame anyone, blame all of JRM for not working together before that caution. JRM had this in the bag and decided to just blow up in different directions. Allgaier left his teammate to dry. Jones went with him, so it was JRM versus JRM. That's on them. They made the bad decisions in the draft that set them up. In my opinion, if they make a move with 3 to go, all 4 of them are starting probably up front, if there's even a caution. And from there, you decided among yourselves. So Austin Hill is the winner, but it's also because JRM kind of handed it to him. I mean, that's how I see it. I know people are going to disagree with me, and to be quite honest, I don't care. Like, this is the right call, and the JRM cars made the wrong moves. So it is what it is, We'll get the ticker up top. Are they already done with the broadcast? Damn, that was quick. All right. We're going to get the... Yeah, wow, that's already the end of the broadcast. That's pathetic post-race show by Fox, I'd say. But we're going to try and get these graphics all set up so you can see the full results. But I think it's going to be a while because if NASCAR's site is taking longer to update, then it's going to take longer to update for everybody. So now the updated results are kind of in, but I didn't see the 31 past the 7 when the caution came out. So the 7 should be... Okay, NASCAR's website is messing up with it. Right now, the top 3 they have is Austin Hill, John Hunter Nemechek, Justin Allgaier. From there, it's a wash. I think they're still deciding how the finish should be decided. So we're just going to be in a bit of a waiting pattern, honestly. Yeah, I'm with Millennial Chicken here. JRM blew a 4-1 lead. That's on them, Let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat while we're waiting. I'm going to make sure I have the super chat window ready so I don't miss what you guys say today, because I felt bad about that yesterday. YouTube was screwing up a lot, but I also screwed up there. Yeah, they got to leave for college basketball. I'm not... I get that I don't even think they would run over the window. That was a very quick race. So I don't know why they're leaving so quick. That must be a FS1 deal. Is Mayer okay? I heard that Mayer got out of the car. So that's the at least from what I was reading, is the update on Sam Mayer is that he got out of the car and I think walked away. Whether or not that's a reliable source or whatnot, I don't know. But that was what I had heard. They had mentioned it on the broadcast. It was a brief mention. They definitely should have shown it. That's definitely one of those show don't tell. And thank you, Eric W., for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. You've been really generous, and I appreciate it a ton. Let's see. Tip off was for 7:45. I'm not giving. Oh, okay. Then that's on FS1 for the scheduling window, because it was still in the races window. I don't understand then why they would schedule it that badly. Yeah, MRN, from what Irvin Alvarado said, MRN also confirmed that Sam was out of the car. So I'm assuming he's okay. At the very least, he's out of the car, so he's okay enough to be out of the car. So that's good. But I'm going to agree with _NASCAR _collector 23 on this one. That this is a good race. For those coming in asking who won, Austin Hill was declared the winner. I personally think, based on NASCAR rules and the video evidence that the broadcast showed us, based on when the caution came out, Austin Hill should have been declared the winner. I don't think it was a fix or a screw job on Allgaier, like some are saying. It was really, really quick. So, hello, Gerard. Thank you for saying hello to me. I appreciate it. Be sure to leave a like on this stream. It really helps the channel. And by the way, we will be live after the Daytona 500 tomorrow. And if we have a controversial finish, we'll be live waiting for the update on the controversial finish. RIP California, thank you for the 5. Great race. Stuck to seeing Jeffrey get wall slammed by Clearman when he was running 10th. L move by Parker. I agree. That was a very bad move by Parker. And I personally think that was a desperate. Thank you, Iceman, saying apparently I look 20 years younger without the beard. Well, I mean, I'm 25, so if I look my age, I'll probably make my mother happy, at least on that instance. Chris McIntyre in the chat is saying TV once again didn't do a good job showing who won or lost one way or another. I agree. They showed twice, I think, the moment of caution, and quickly both times got away from it. So I do agree that it was a very bad showing by FS1 in doing that. And I get that they had to be quick, but if there's something of prime importance to show, is why the winner is the winner. And, well, I think, I thought it was very quick. It was very quick. Let's see if they've updated the results again. We can try and start getting into what the finishing order of this race is. I will check also some reporters on Twitter, see what they're saying, and see if we have any true definitive order. At the moment, the running order is basically just Austin Hill, John Hunter Nemechek, and Justin Allgaier. But that was 10 minutes ago. We'll see if there's any updates. By the way, just updated from Noah Lewis on Twitter. Sam Mayer is okay, out of the infield care center. He's been evaluated, is being interviewed at the moment. So Sam is okay, for those who are asking. Scary crash, scary flip, but push comes to shove, the safety of these cars, thank God, wins again. God, I hate Twitter. It doesn't update it right. Let's see. I'm trying to find someone who has the results, but there's nothing. That and like I said, frickin' Twitter has everything out of order because, God forbid, we can't make shit simple. But we'll get to that in a moment. Yeah, I agree with a lot of you guys. Good to hear that he is okay. Thank you, Napa Racing Fan 927, for the 2 biggest team collapse ever. How mad is Dale Jr.? If I'm Dale Jr., I'm hot, because that was just flat out stupid driving by his drivers. You could definitely tell some of the inexperience working together that they've had, just because there's a new driver, young drivers. So I'd be, if Dale Jr.'s mad, I'd be mad too. That was a bad move on his driver's part, and ultimately they paid the price either in losing this race or flipping. Immortal, thank you for the 2 as well. Drivers need to stop blocking. It never works. I mean, that's just a part of NASCAR racing. They tried they've tried before in officiating that, and it becomes too much of a stick and ball call, too much black, not black and white enough. It's like too much gray area, and ultimately it screws the product and in turn the fan. So I don't know what way there is to fix it. It sucks. The second year in a row that there's a scary flip. Thank God, 2 years in a row both drivers are okay. Thank you, Robert Williams, also for the 2. JRM definitely fumbled that. Yeah, that old loss. If you're upset at the call of the finish, you should be more upset as a JRM fan. You should be more upset at your drivers, because the drivers are the ones who screwed that finish completely up. That was not on NASCAR. NASCAR didn't force the 7 to dump 2 of his teammates on the high line and go low and break the whole thing up. And one could say that is why these guys are still in the Xfinity Series and not in the Cup Series. Because I'll ask you this: if the 5, the 24, the 9, and the 48 are all 4 on the line behind Kyle Busch on Sunday, do you think that Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman break the whole thing up? Or do you think they wait in line with their teammates, pass them with 2 to go, or even coming to the white, and then decide the race among themselves? Because I think if for a Cup-ready driver would show that kind of maturity and that kind of patience. Let's see what else we got in the chat here. Brandon Jones got dumped for no reason. He was going to be a factor in the finish. He also did turn down, though. I think that was also kind of on him as well. Thank you, Crash the Hedgehog 91 for 5. Goofy performance from JRM. I hope they don't penalize a 20, because to me it looked like he was forced below by the 7. Congrats to Frankie as well. Yes, congrats to Frankie Muniz on the good run today. It's awesome seeing somebody that is a fan, even if he is a celebrity, get to have this chance in professional racing. As for penalizing the finish, I don't think any of them should be penalized. Because if that was the case, then you would say Allgaier would have to be penalized. But they're 3 wide, avoiding a flipping car. I think that constitutes avoiding a wreck. First, we've seen like 2006, Carl Edwards tried to make a move and it didn't, to avoid a wreck, and it didn't work. Eric Almaroli for 5. Thank you so much. Hi, Iceberg. Just wanted to say that you're one of the best NASCAR YouTubers ever. I'm currently at 3K right now. I'm trying my best. Well, I appreciate the compliment, but as for you, keep pushing, man. 3K, that's not something to scoff at. It takes a lot of work to build up from being a really, really small channel from the start. So don't sell yourself short on having 3,000 subscribers. That's 3,000. I mean, just think of 3,000 people in an auditorium or in a stadium, a small stadium, like watching you or something like that. That's big. So don't sell yourself short at all on that. Looking at some of the Noah Coleman, I think it's legal on the last lap. Yeah, that ESPN moment there, man. Let's see what else we got. Napa Racing fan again in the chat saying, I'm not mad at NASCAR. I'm disgusted with JRM at the end. Yeah, it sucks though, man. It does suck because they had run such a good race to that point, and then one move really screwed it up at the end. And a lot could have changed. All 4 of them could have wrecked each other. So, let's see. Chicken Nugget 445 says, also that car went over so unexpectedly. Yeah, I was not expecting that. Let's see. What do you consider reliable sources? Because I have sources. I can send them in DMs if you want from MVR owner. I mean, anyone who's at the track reporting right now. Bob obviously is one. Noah Lewis. They probably have updated a lot of it at this point. So I'm also going to look for updates. The problem with Twitter now is, at least on desktop, I don't know about mobile. I'm not on Twitter as much anymore. It's just it's such a mess. I hate this damn website. All right, so we got a top 10 from Davey Siegel. Austin Hill, John Hunter, Allgaier, Retzlaff, Snyder, Herbst, Graf, Sieg, Custer, Burton. That's a top 10. Unofficially, Sam Mayer is put 26. I'm going to check the NASCAR website again. We're going to see if we can get a true running order on this. And Yeah, the NASCAR website also is supporting this as well. So how about this? I'm going to put in the results. That way you guys can see them up top. I'm not going to read them off just for the simple fact that uh, they could change. I don't want people going away thinking that, you know, what the results are or aren't. So I'm gonna put these in. It might be a little awkward as I put them in. We're gonna go full Tom Grassi on this one. But at the moment, the top 10 is down. We're gonna get everybody up top, and then we will change them as we find out more information. If anyone's leaving any super chats, anything like that, I'll be sure to try and read everything in a moment. I'm just gonna make sure that we have everything in that we know at the moment, and I'll keep it like this. We're gonna stay live until we have official results, and we're gonna make sure that at the end of the night, everybody watching knows who finished where. By the way, if the results hold up, the 98 for 2 nights in a row finishes 6th, Herbst tonight, and then I can't remember the 98 from last night as it goes off the screen here. But that's interesting. So we're gonna put everything in as much as we can. I'm honestly amazed though that it took that long. Like, it was to that point a very clean, very organized race, and unfortunately we saw at the end it just completely unraveled. So bear with me here. We're gonna get this all in. Cole Custer unofficially in 9th, for those wondering. That's going to be big for championship implications, as a lot of those guys who are going to be running for the championship this year ran up front. Justin Haley gets a 10th place run. So for anyone that watches the NASCAR Weekly podcast, for the chat, Danny and Eric, who picked them, that's big to know, as me and Darian picked Austin Hill to win. Let's see. I have 30th on down. I just need to get 11th through 29th put in. But I've right off the top 10. Jeb Burton 27th is what it's saying at the moment. Chandler Smith 12th. 13th, Stephen Parsons. Brandon Jones 14th. 15th, Josh Williams. Parker Chase 16th. Jeremy Clements 17th. Joey Gase 18th. Sammy Smith 19th. Gray Galding rounds out the top 20. Before I get anything, I'm going to look and see the other super chats left. Irvin Alvarado, thank you for the 5. Let's look live at JRM in Mooresville, North Carolina after the race. Building implosion all over. Yeah. And then from my dad for 20, see you in a few days. Again, be sure you guys leave a like, because we're well over the 400 mark. Having a lot of fun tonight, just trying to figure all this stuff out. But I appreciate so many of you guys bearing with us, waiting. Sirens of Southwestern Pennsylvania, saying Austin Hill is too OP at super speedways. I don't know. I think those JRM cars were well within the ability to race and beat him. I know it's not going to make me popular by saying that Junior's team up. I know I say this over and over again, but that is really what it is. I'm going to keep putting these results in. That way you guys can see the unofficial results at the moment. But while we're waiting, be sure also to put it on your calendars. The NASCAR Weekly podcast this week will be on Darian Gilliam, a.k.a. Black Flags Matters channel at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about all of Speed Weeks on that show. And also the night before, Tuesday night, we're going to be on IDK Players channel. I will be co-commentating the second race of the NR Cup Series. Going to be a lot of fun to do that as well. There's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of new faces and new places compared to race 1. But at the same time, there's going to be also some very recognizable names in the race. So a lot to look forward to this week. On top of the normal videos we do, will be post-race for the races at Auto Club for the final time at the 2-mile layout. a lot to look forward to this week. So Daytona, we're not just going to do like a one and done Daytona and that's it. We're going to have a ton to do this week and a ton to talk about, I'm sure, because come on, it's super speedway racing. Like, why wouldn't you? I am almost done getting this all put in, and then you guys can see it keeps changing little by little. There's small changes. So if there is anything different, I will update you accordingly. But right now I'm just putting in the last 10 or so, and then I will have the results on the top of the screen. If we can't get the full results by the end of the night or by the end of the stream, I will leave a link. Probably either way, I'll leave a link to Racing References page of the race to get the official results, as NASCAR does run that account or that website, I think, now. And you guys will be able to at least see for sure who finished where. But at the moment, the top three of Austin Hill, John Hunter Nemechek, and Justin Allgaier is for sure. We'll talk about the rest of the race once I get this all in. I just want to make sure that all of you guys have as much information as possible as we go through this night. I'm, again, like I said, almost done with it. This is most of the time why I don't go live during the race, because we have to do this kind of stuff. But I figured it was more imperative to look and see what was going on with the finish itself, and we could, face the music for everything else later. But for those looking at the unofficial results right now, one update I'll tell you about a more fan favorite driver. The 48 of Parker Kligerman did end up finishing in the 23rd position in this race. Looking a little lower as well, we have Anthony Alfredo unofficially on NASCAR's website in the 24th spot. NASCAR, on my end at least, just updated it. Josh Berry is in 26th. 27th would be Sam Mayer. So there's an update there as well. Like I said, I'm super close to being done, and then we will go through everything in this race, and I'll go through everything I missed from the chat, from super chats, from comments, everything. We're gonna get to it, I promise. I gotta say, it's a damn shame that Jeffrey Earnhardt, though, with the incident with Kligerman, ended up having that happen to him, because he was running so well. But that's super speedway racing. That's Xfinity racing, Last one here, 25, Brett Moffitt, and then we're good to go. He finished 29th. I will read that super chat in a moment, I promise. Let's get in this last little bit put in. All right, we have the unofficial results ready to go. They will be up at the top of the screen right now. I'm gonna read that super chat, and then we're gonna go and look at the highlights of the race. Wasted Trash Panda, thank you for the 10. Leaders should race back to the line. If the crash is behind them, people behind the crash slow down, and they're scored off the loop. No reason the leaders couldn't have raced back on a clear track. I think where NASCAR looks at that is that I don't think they want to change the rules depending on what's going on, lap-wise, just because there's another crash. It takes longer as well with people still racing to get back outside to the track. So there is that. And then, okay, the ticker is working. Let me double check, make sure. Stream. I'm just making sure it's showing up correctly. It is. Awesome. And I apologize if anything is spelled wrong or anyone's in the wrong spot. These are unofficial results at the moment up at the top of the screen. But let's go through what happened in the race. A lot of you guys have been waiting about 30 minutes for that. So to start with, I've been talking about the command. It's been a theme of every stream we do after the race this weekend. We're going to keep talking about it here. It was a very boring command, very corporate. But I guess for corporate standards, it wasn't terrible. I'm just not a fan of the beef, this for dinner, and blah, 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 blah. Gentlemen, start your engines. By the way, more beef for dinner. Not crazy about that. But is what it is. RIP California, thank you for the 5. Again, ARCA Race had a Kevin LePage moment when the 06 slid up the track doing half speed. Tim Richmond had a super hard hit. Looked pretty scary at first. It did look pretty scary. It still throws me off that Tim Richmond is a name of a driver that is racing today. But that was scary. So the start of the race had issues, crazy issues. Austin Hill won the pole. Well, then Austin Hill had radio issues, had to go down pit road, lost that pole spot, and then he made it through the pack, I think, from last to 12th in 8 laps before the first big caution, which was mighty impressive to see. That RCR 21 car is definitely the best car at super speedways right now. And I might say a hot take here. I know people might not agree with me, but I think Colleague's reign of terror on the Xfinity Series at these super speedways is over. They have not shown the speed this weekend. They didn't show the speed, but still got some of the results last year. But results and speed are two different things. The speed is not there. RCR has the speed, which in my opinion at super speedways is the power. M. Martin fan for life for 5 says, so disgusted with FS1. 30-second post-race show and don't cover Sam's condition. But good thing you're here to cover it. Well, I appreciate it. I get that they had to go off to a different race, but yes, I do think that at the very least that should have been an update right before they go off the air. Brian says, you big 21 fan. I mean, the speed is there. I mean, it's just objectively, the 21 car is the best car at these races. Let's see what else we got here from the race, though. Starting off, it was really side-by-side. Not too crazy, though. Honestly, this whole race until the last, until the overtime finish was not crazy. Overall, we did have, before that, 9 cars drop out. So, but they were all for small wrecks that we'll get to. They were also for engine issues, for instance, like Brennan Poole had an issue. Kaz Grala did. Jesse Awuji. So it wasn't like it was a wreck fest. It was honestly one of the cleanest super speedway races I've seen from the Xfinity Series in a long, long while. But looking at some of the highlights from it, you start off lap 8 with Bailey Curry smoking, causing a caution early. And lap 20, there was also a wreck where Sam Mayer hit Blaine Perkins. The 07 and the 11 wreck. That was on Mayer. That was just a bad move on his part. And it was very similar to the move he made at the end of the race. He made a bad move on the inside when there wasn't a hole there. Caused, I believe, Perkins' car to be clipped. And then after that, at the finish, he tried to pull a block on space that wasn't there and flipped himself. So he still has a lot of work to do on these super speedways. Mayer is really, really talented, but at the same time, there's work to be done. Spanky G, thank you for the 5. Yee, it's Spanky G. Austin Cindric will win tomorrow and fulfill the prophecy. I don't know what that is, but he is a good pick. Back-to-back, I actually, right behind the camera here, have my Austin Cindric 2022 Daytona 500 little laminated poster for the office. Among other things, I think it was shown when we had Emp in studio for the podcast last year. But very good pick. Very good pick. All right, well, Austin Hill ended up in a photo finish winning stage 1 against Chandler Smith. Much needed both points for the regular season standings as well as bonus points. Austin Hill is probably going to be a championship contender this year, along with guys maybe like Allgaier, like Barry, like John Hunter Nemechek, like Cole Custer. Those are much needed points that could both have playoff points from today, but also have playoff points from the regular season. People got to remember that part of it, of the deal. But we get to stage 2, and there was a wreck pretty early on. Had the 21 involved, had the 7 involved, had the 2 involved. But again, 5-car wreck was about the biggest we saw before the end there. Justin Allgaier won the second stage. Again, very important championship-wise later on in the season. And at the end of the stage, Sammy Smith was spun off the front end of Jeb Burton. But again, no big cautions to that point. Then we get down to the end of it. Final stage, the Chevys pit first. They started pitting with 46 to go before everybody else did. And that then trickle down for the rest of the field to pit over the next couple laps. In that melee, so playoff implications. Yes, I know I basically said that. But in the melee of pit strategy and pitting, Parker Kligerman spun onto pit road. But luckily for him, caution came out a little bit later with CJ McLaughlin wrecking. 26 to go to get to a restart. They start single filing up, a little bit of racing. There wasn't really too much to talk about until about 12 to go when Kligerman wasn't clear and took out Jeffrey Earnhardt. Again, Earnhardt running in the top 10. I feel like this happens so often to Jeffrey Earnhardt, and I'm just going to kind of go off on an aside here. Jeffrey Earnhardt so many times will run up front or run well for what his equipment gave him or for the situation in a certain moment that he's in, and he gets taken out for it. And it just sucks to see because I think he has more talent than people give him credit for. Then with 5 to go, the first real move was made, but it went nowhere. Kligerman jumps down low. Riley Herbst goes with them, which I will say people are probably going to be disrespecting Herbst. I get he's earned it from how he's performed the last 2 years, but I think he'll be much improved this year overall. But they go nowhere. At this point, Austin Hill is saying he's feeling vibrations in the car. It gets crazy. We have the spin with Jones after Allgaier leaves Barry and Mayer behind, which, again, had move on his part. And from there, we have the big green-white checker set up. Josh Berry runs out of gas. A 7 is iffy on gas, but is able to make it to the restart. They get around to the 1 to go. Final lap. Mayer tries to throw a block on a car that's already to his bumper. Flips himself. We end the race. We all know where we're going. I don't have the results written out. We have unofficial results up at the top here as it's going right back through. But a lot to talk about from this race. I think a very good. There's a fight post race. Where? Hold on. We're gonna look for it. We're gonna see if there is a fight, if we can find it, and from there we will leave it up to. I don't know if I saw people asking if there was a fight, but what do we got in the chat? Does anyone know anything about that? I want to make sure that I'm seeing people talk about it. I don't know. I don't see anything about it. But I'm gonna say this. I think that this was a great race to start out with. Yes, you had some single filing. I get it. That happens. But honestly, choo-choo training at the end doesn't anger me as much, I think, as it does other people, unless someone doesn't make a move. I actually kind of like the cat and mouse game of who's going to go. So, but yeah, I think it's a good start, and I think it's a good lead up to the Daytona 500, honestly. All right, we have just gotten updated results for the race from Bob Pockrass, just posted on Twitter. I'm going to read them off here. And from there we will we'll keep going. I'm gonna make sure these are if these are official or unofficial. Let's see. He posted them up. So here's what we're gonna read off. And if the ticker is wrong or off a little bit, then we will adjust it accordingly. But here is what Bob Pockrass has as the results. Austin Hill, the winner. John Hunter Nemechek, Justin Allgaier, Parker Retzlaff, and a very good run for the limited experience he has in 4th, and Myatt Snyder with the top 5 in 5th. After that, we have Riley Herbst in 6th, Joe Graff Jr. in 7th, Ryan Sieg 8th, 9th is Cole Custer, 10th, Justin Haley, 11th, we have Jeb Burton, 12th, we have Chandler Smith, 13th, Stephen Parsons, 14th, Brandon Jones, Josh Williams, 15th, Parker Chase in 16th, 17th, Jeremy Clements, Joey Gase, 18th, 19th, Sammy Smith, 20th, Greg Galding, then 21st, Kyle Sieg, David Starr, 22nd, 23rd, Parker Retzlaff, or Parker Kligerman. I don't know. I must be just not reading right. Parker Kligerman in 23rd. My bad on that. 24th, Anthony Alfredo, Jade Buford in 25th, 26th, Josh Berry, 27th, Sam Mayer, 28th, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Brett Moffitt, 29th. 30th, Jesse Iwuji. 31st, CJ McLaughlin. 32nd, Kaz Grala. Brennan Poole in 33rd. 34th, Sheldon Creed. Ryan Ellis, 35th. 36th, Daniel Hemrick. Blaine Perkins, 37th. And last but not least is Bailey Curry, who finished 8 laps today after an engine issue. So those are your official results from Bob Pockrass. And I think we're pretty accurate on our end. If there's any changes needing to be made, I'll make them in a moment. I'm gonna double check. That way, all on the same page. Ugh, man. Let's see. Got it. 39. 7th. I think we're good. I think for the most part we're good. Yeah, I'm looking through the results at the moment, and I think we got them down. But if there's any kind of change that NASCAR makes to it, we will let you know. And again, there will be an updated results or just results in general to be sure in the comments down below once it is fully uploaded and we're good to go with it. Wow. This is something you should know, I think, coming up if you're going to any races. Adam Stern tweeted a little Stern bomb here. Lego Group is the new licensee of NASCAR this year, or is a new licensee of NASCAR this year, and it will start selling Lego versions of Gen 7 cars on March 1st, and will be featured at the track. I think they actually have it featured at Daytona too. So good stuff to know for those of you in the audience that are into that. So just a little update for everybody on that. Spanky G with another one, another 5 in the chat. Thank you again so much. Like I said, I'm in my Xfinity Series guide. Parker Retzlaff is gonna be something as long as equipment doesn't stall him out. Yeah, I'd say so. I'm sorry, Spencer. I see you said right after the Fontana race. I'm sorry. But yeah, right after the Fontana race. But I don't think it's going to, I don't know if it'll be like featured at the track starting March 1st. I think they have something at Daytona to display what's going to be coming out, but I think it's more like released out in stores. So it was very unclear based on the tweet. Irvin Alvarado, you asked, you going to build some Legos? No, but I mean, my brother's pretty into that, so I might tell him about it. I don't know. I don't know the first thing about Legos anymore. Last time I built those, I think I was 8 or 9. It's been a while. But for those, I know there's a lot of people who are fans of Legos. A lot of people in the chat, as well as a lot of people who know people who are, or whose kids are. So I figured I'd pass that along to you guys. I don't think there was a fight, Nick. I think it might have been trolls, or it might have just been an erroneous update from people. I'm looking on Twitter, on Instagram, on everywhere, basically, trying to see if there's any updates to results. But hold on a second. I'm gonna pull this up. It's probably gonna be it's gonna be weird on stream for a moment. But I'm gonna pull up the moment of caution to show everybody, and this is tweeted from Bob Pockrass, for the moment of caution that finished the race up. So let's see, image, pull it up. All right. Now it's going to be weird for a second in the corner here. I'll make it larger. It's going to be blurry. It's not going to fit the screen well. This was the moment of caution, according to Bob Pockrass. So for those of you who are asking for what NASCAR was going off of for the results, this is it. So you'll see up top there is Austin Hill, John Hunter Nemechek in second in the 20. Behind him, the 7 of Allgaier just ahead of Retzlaff, and Snyder right behind his teammate in the 20. So This is what NASCAR was going off of for the finish. I don't want anything to be left up to the imagination on it. And this was not very far after the caution was called, or the finish overall. So there you have it. That is it. Of why, and good for Bob. I would love to see, and I know NASCAR stops it and says under caution is the official result, but these are moments I would love to see, even if it's unofficial, what the margin of victory is. Where is the yellow line? It is right between the 20 and the 21. B1624, I saw, left a $5 super chat. The fight was just a heated discussion between Earnhardt and Klickerman. Yeah, that's not a fight. Come on, guys. Like, sometimes NASCAR versions of fights are just pushing and shoving. So if that's all it was, I'm not crazy about that being called a fight. But yes, so I'll leave it up for a little bit longer as I'm talking about it. This is what is being considered the moment of caution. This is the finish that NASCAR is going off of, and you can clearly see up top, that white and blue car up top, ahead of the 20, is Austin Hill. He is the winner. I really personally didn't doubt that. This is the moment of caution. So there you go. There you have it. We have the moment of caution, and then as for the finish, I'll leave it up top one more time, or a couple more times here. We have the official now finishing results, post-race results for the 2023 Beef It's What's for Dinner 300. Such an easy name to come off the tongue. But there you have it. That is what we're looking at when it comes to the finish of this race. That's what we're looking at when it comes to all of this. That's the race. Now we have the Daytona 500 coming up tomorrow. It's going to be, let me pull it up really quick, I believe 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The most that 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Fox and MRN. It will be starting pre-race coverage about 2 hours before that on Fox. So be sure to tune in. To Penny Puppet, thank you for the 5. Wasn't it Austin Hill that punched another driver late last season? Yes, at Martinsville. And that boy can pack a punch. By the way, everybody, please be sure to leave a like on this stream while we're here at it. And also, help me out with subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate all the support we've gotten this weekend. It's been a ton of fun. And while we're going about this, I will put, just like Irvin Alvarado did, I will put the start of the race and where to get it in the chat. I'm going to take that pinned message off, and I will pin this at the top. But tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox and MRN, is the Daytona 500. I believe the 65th running of the Daytona 500. So, wow, what a weekend we've had so far. Honestly, outside of the rain, the racing this weekend has been on it. I think it's been much better than last year, and I am so happy that we're able to cover it this year with you guys. I appreciate the support so much as well. Let's see if we can get to, again, 200 likes by the end of this stream. We have the official results up top now, according to Bob Pockrass, and Daytona 500 tomorrow. I want you guys to leave me in the comments right now. Who is your pick to win the Great American Race? It's going to be a ton of fun, man. It's going to be a ton of fun. And while we're at it, I'll let you know we will be streaming directly after the Great American Race tomorrow. There's going to be a ton to talk about. It's the Daytona 500, man. How can there not be a ton to talk about? Even 2021, that was pretty boring, had a ton to talk about. And I was there at that one. I can say it was boring. But even that one had a ton to talk about. So let's see what else. Ooh, Jeff Curry in the chat with his Daytona 500 plans. Jeff Curry says, got wings marinating in insanity sauce now. Awesome stuff. We got a lot of win picks. I'll read them off in a moment after I read Beast 1624 super chat for 2. Ha! Daytona is 1 year younger than me. Well, good to know, and I'm glad that you're watching tonight. And I appreciate the sport, and I'm sure NASCAR does too. But looking at some of these picks that we got in here, we got 11s, 19s, Ryan Blaney, Austin Dillon, Ryan Blaney's overdue, Jimmy, William Byron, Bubba, Ryan Preece, Kyle Busch, Blaney, Eric Armadillo is what's written in there, Kyle Busch or Bubba Wallace, given the trend, Cindric, Elliott, there's Bowman ones in there, everyone. I feel like this is what I love about the Great American Race. Unlike the biggest event or any other sport, any other series, any other anything, whether NFL, NBA, MLB, you want to go to racing, F1 with Monaco or the Indy 500. And Indy 500 is the closest I think you get when it comes to this. Virtually every car can win this race. Like I'd say outside of the 50, I don't see a car in the field this year who can't win this race. The Rick Ware cars looked fast in the draft this year, and those would be the only ones I think people would talk about. So there's going to be a lot of, I think it's going to be very competitive. I don't think this will be like the most competitive ever, but I think this will be more competitive than last year. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some 3-wide racing a little more this year than we did last year as well. They have a year under their belts with these cars. Package has been tweaked just a little bit to make the racing a bit better. So I think it's going to be a hell of a show. It's going to be a banger, I think. We're looking at the chat here. Napa Racing Fan 927 for the 2 Hilda Cup in 2024. Xfinity Champ 4, 007 2021. That's a good choice. I think the 8 has a chance. Don't rule out Brandon Jones. He's fast at Martinsville. Would have won last year if it wasn't for Ty Gibbs. But there's a lot to look forward to. Again, this week, we have the second round of the NR Cup Series on IDK Players channel. I'll be co-commentating on that. Going to be a lot of fun. I'll probably be talking even faster than I am now. And then on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Black Flags Matters channel, we'll be going over everything from the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. Going to be a lot of fun. By the way, for those who were wondering about it last night, I had a Madden simulation going on in the background, and the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Denver Broncos in that one, 31-29. At the moment, I have one going on in the background. They're almost done with the third quarter. The Minnesota Vikings are winning 52-24 over the Chicago Bears. So there is that. I might just make this a thing, you know? I might make it a thing also to like wear different things or have different kind of things pop up during the streams on post-race. If a certain driver wins, like maybe I'll wear my girlfriend's FedEx hat when Denny wins. Maybe I'll have like a less annoying version of a siren playing when Chase Elliott wins. Let's just have fun with this thing. Let's make this thing its own thing. Like let's make these streams their own unique thing and just have a ton of fun with it. I'm having a blast. I don't know if you can tell. I'm having a blast. Usually, I usually say with these Xfinity and truck streams, we'll make them shorter. And now I'm looking and we're almost an hour in. So, by the way, we're 9 likes away from 200. Let's get there before we end this baby out. And Froggy YT _ says he's announcing Let's Go in NR Night in America. Not NR Night in America, NR Cup Series, and maybe the NWP 400 this year. So, a lot of good stuff coming up there. Let's unpin this one. Eric W, thank you for the 2. Christopher Bell is my pick. Go CB. Christopher Bell is going to be very fast, and he's shown a lot of speed at the super speedways in recent years. So that's not a bad pick. I think of the Gibbs drivers outside of Denny, obviously, I think that's the best pick, honestly. Jeff Curry saying, been a NASCAR fan for years. Chastain Wall thing was great. I agree. Greg Van Alst is a chat from Bronze Cookie in the chat. That was the winner of the Arga race today. What time tomorrow? Well, tomorrow we have 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, the Daytona 500. We will be live right after that. We're going to be live all the way until the post-race, what do you call it? The post-race inspection is done. That way we make sure that we end knowing the official finish of the Daytona 500 is announced. That way, again, nobody has to leave wondering, hey, why'd my driver, why did it say my driver finished 3rd and now it's saying he finished 40th, almost said 43rd. I missed that. So there's a lot we're going to be doing tomorrow, a lot we're going to be doing this week. And if you're in the Nashville area, they're doing a near or at the fairgrounds, there is a save the speedway kind of event going on, or like they're asking for a lot of support to come out for the Nashville Fairgrounds. I more than likely will be there Monday night for that. I think that's at 6:30. I'll update tomorrow on that. So if you're gonna be driving through or in the Nashville area at that time, I'll update you on that tomorrow. But if you want the fairgrounds, you want to show your support, I know Dale Jr. shared it on his Instagram. That should be a really big thing that people need to come out for. It's going to be Thursday, a short coming out this week. A lot coming out. And it's saying OBS disconnected on my end, but we didn't drop anything. Now it's connected again. That's probably my cue to stop streaming. We'll be streaming a lot tomorrow anyway, and I want to make sure everything is good for that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am Martin Fan for life. I saw you left a $5 super chat. Corey LaJoy for the win. Get a jar of pennies ready. I agree. I think that's a good pick in that agreement sense, and I'm gonna be putting a few pennies on him in the betting line tomorrow, just in case. If so, Corey LaJoy or Cody Ware, somebody in the underdog tier wins, I'm going to swoop right in here with a little bit of cash on hand. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your support. One more post-race stream to go on Speed Week. One more race to go. This time tomorrow, we will know more than likely who has won the 65th annual Daytona 500. So from me to you, I want to thank you so much for being here. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. And until then, have a good one.